Reflections on If by Amy Begoni. Amy Carmichael wrote the booklet If to help a fellow laborer who struggled with the way of love. This simple book has been one of my all-time favorites. While reading If, I have been reminded of the time when Jesus showed me my sin from his perspective. I still shudder when I think of the awfulness of pride and a time of reckoning before God. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good, I learned. And I also learned that he was a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of my heart. The same God who many years ago in the book of Daniel told the king, "Thou art weighed in the balances and are found wanting," showed me myself on the night that I gave my heart to Jesus. And he continues to show men and women their hearts through his word and through the testimony in the lives of other Christians. God will never be mocked. He will never be deceived, as he has perfect understanding in every situation. And the buck will always stop with him, as well as the final say regarding every person. Truth is timeless, and the reflections of this booklet have encouraged me over the years to keep my heart pure, to never forget the depth of Calvary's love. Today I want to share the introduction and part 1 of this little book called If. This was published by Christian Literature Crusade. One evening, a fellow worker brought to me a problem about a younger one who was missing the way of the Lord. This led to a wakeful night, for the word at such times is always, "Lord, is it I? Have I failed her somewhere? What do I know of Calvary love?" And then sentence by sentence with the ifs came, almost as if spoken aloud to the inner ear. Next morning they were shared with another, for they had been written down in pencil in the night, and then a few others shared. After this, some copies were printed on our small hand press for the fellowship only. That led to this booklet. At first it was asked for. We felt, no, it is far too private for that. But if it can help any to understand what the life of love means and to live that life, then it is not ours to refuse. Some of the ifs appear to be related to pride, selfishness, or cowardice, but digging deeper we come upon an unsuspected lovelessness at the root of them all. The pages in part 2 are not meant to be read one after another. Perhaps one if here and there may be the needed word, and leaving the others, the reader may find something in the last pages. And in any case, any true follower be troubled by the "then I know nothing." I would say, the thought came in this form, and I fear to weaken it. But here, as everywhere, the letter kills. St. Paul counted the loss of all things as nothing, that he might know him whom he already knew, and the soul, suddenly illuminated by some fresh outshining of the knowledge of the love of God shown forth on Calvary, does not stop to measure how much or how little it knew of that love before. Penetrated, melted, broken before the vision of love, it feels that indeed all it ever knew was nothing, less than nothing. It is clear, I think, that such a booklet as this is not meant for everyone, but only for those who are called to be under-shepherds. And there are some of them for whom it has no word. they have already entered into that which I have been impelled to write. Part 1. There are times when something comes into our lives that is charged with love in such a way that it seems to open the eternal to us for a moment, or at least some of the eternal things. And the greatest of these is love. It may be a small and intimate touch upon us or our affairs, light as the touch of the dawn wind on the leaves of the tree, something not to be captured and told to another in words. But we know that it is our Lord. And then perhaps the room where we are, with its furniture and books and flowers, seems less present than His presence. And the heart is drawn into the sweetness of the old hymn, of which the old hymn sings. The love of Jesus, what it is, none but His loved ones know. Or is it the dear human love about us that bathes us as in summer seas and rests us through and through? Can we ever cease to wonder at the love of our companions? And then suddenly we recognize our Lord in them. It is His love that they lavish upon us. O love of God, made manifest in thy lovers, we worship thee. Or not often, perhaps the dimness seems to be more wholesome for us here, but sometimes because our Lord is very merciful, it is given to us to look up through the clear blue air and see the love of God. And yet, after all, how little we see. That you may be able to comprehend what is the breadth, the length, and depth, and height, and to know the love of Christ that passes knowledge. The words are too great for us. What do we comprehend? What do we know? Confounded and abased, we enter into the rock and hide us in the dust before the glory of the majesty of love, the love whose symbol is the cross. And a question pierces then, what do I know of Calvary love?